2023. 2023 is coming to a close soon, and we have played many wonderful games. And so I thought it'd be so fun to look back at them and kind of like see what are the best of the best, what is the cream of the crop in a variety of categories. So if y'all were here for the Game Awards, they have their own little categories like Best RPG, yada. But for me, with all the games that we've played from multiple different years, I wanted to, do like categories that are very specific to Montmontgames. So here is what we have. I have a little presentation prepared for us. And we're gonna watch it. Welcome to the nominations. I'm gonna try so hard not to provide extra explanation right now, because next week is when I'm gonna provide you like my rationale for picking the winners, right? But for now, here are my nominations. Let's do a quick recap of all the games that I played this year, okay? So, number 1, January, February, we began with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Then, we went into Until Dawn in February. March, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. March, April, Resident Evil 4 Remake. May, June, Final Fantasy XII. June, Resident Evil 2 Remake. June, July, Final Fantasy 15. July, August, Final Fantasy 9. And then we did like an indie game week, so we did Bramble and Stray. I didn't include Haven in here because we only did that for like an hour, so I didn't include that. August through October, 8 was a long one for us. We did Final Fantasy 8. September, we interspersed Mortal Kombat 1 because that was when it released. Fun and exciting. October through November, we did Final Fantasy 16. October and November as well, we did The Quarry. I think we did that on the Fridays. November, we began Final Fantasy 1. And then November, December, Final Fantasy 2. We actually finished that a couple days ago. And ongoing right now, but we started this in December, is Baldur's Gate 3. And we started this yesterday, Final Fantasy 3. And also a little bit of Fortnite. Here and there, a little Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Pass. So, that is 19 games. We have streamed and journeyed through 19 different worlds, and it has been marvelous and beautiful, and thank you so much for joining me on them. So, let's do some nominations. I'm gonna say this right now, there's gonna be some spoilers. I'm not gonna explain the spoilers, but some of the nominations you're gonna, raise a little eyebrow at. So, here they are. Hottest video game man. Let's start off strong here in our nominations, okay? Let's start off real strong here. So, be ready. This one's a lengthy one. Leon Kennedy, Resident Evil 4. Cloud Strife, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Zach Fair, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Syzoth, Mortal Kombat 1. Okay, and there's like another slide because there's a lot of hot men that we saw this year. Clive Rossfield, Final Fantasy 16. Joshua Rossfield, Final Fantasy 16. Noctis Lucis Kylum, Final Fantasy 15. Prompto Argentum, Final Fantasy 15. Balthier, Final Fantasy 12. Okay, there's more hot men. Hold on. More hot men. Last slide of hot men, I promise. Laguna, Final Fantasy 8. Dion Lesage, Final Fantasy 16. Ifrit from Final Fantasy 15. This guy, Aradin from Baldur's Gate 3. My character in Baldur's Gate 3, good old Orion Rex. Come on, dude. Look how beautiful. My beautiful boy. Johnny Cage, Mortal Kombat 1. Leslie, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Roach, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Rufus, Final Fantasy VII Remake. So those are our nominees for the hottest man. I promise all the categories don't have like a billion options to them. This is just the one, okay? This is one of our important categories here at Montmont Games, okay? So congratulations to all the nominees. All right, favorite game combat, right? So I separated combat and like general gameplay. So here it is. So combat, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 15, Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 8, and Mortal Kombat 1. General gameplay is kind of like everything around combat, around and including combat, right? So it includes like side quests, and it includes like talking to NPCs, all that stuff, all that stuff. So, Stray, Baldur's Gate 3, Bramble, some indie game love here, and The Quarry. Okay. Favorite boss is we have Mr. X. So here we're gonna get into some spoiler territory here. Ultima, Bahamut in Final Fantasy 16. Oh, Mr. X in RE2. Ramon Salazar in RE4. Ultimecia in Final Fantasy 8. Sephiroth in Final Fantasy 7 Remake. And the Arden fight in the Ignis DLC. Not the Arden fight in base game. The Arden fight in Final Fantasy 15 Ignis DLC. Favorite graphics. So this one's of course gonna skew probably towards the more recent games, but here it is. Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Resident Evil 4. Favorite story. Okay, I have another slide explaining a little bit of a rationale here, but bear with me. Favorite story, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 7, The Quarry, and Final Fantasy 8. Chris says, I'm surprised you didn't put Vayne in the hot men list. Yeah, I didn't. I thought about it. But I think that there was something about his final form that kind of gave me the ick. You know what I mean? His final form, not his final form, but like his final boss fight, like when he became all big and muscular, gave me the ick. All right, so favorite story. Baldur's Gate 3, I am sure would have been on here. I am 100% sure would have been on here. But since I haven't finished the story yet, I didn't add it here. I will add Baldur's Gate 3 to our game when we do this next year. I'll add this Baldur's Gate 3 to that. Okay, favorite enemy variety. So this is the little grunts that you fight, right? So how, like, you didn't just keep fighting the same thing over and over again, and you didn't just fight like different reskins of them. So here they are. Baldur's Gate 3, so far, the enemy variety in this game is really incredible. Final Fantasy 7, I think that this one is really a really impressive one. I think sometimes Final Fantasy struggles with this, but I am impressed with how many different kinds of enemies there are in 7 Remake. Same with Crisis Core, to be honest with you. The variety in Crisis Core and the amount of like kind of thinking you have to do when it comes to going on different missions is really impressive, and I really enjoyed it. So I think Crisis Core has a really good variety. And Final Fantasy 12. I think Final Fantasy 12 has excellent enemy variety, especially when you go into like different locations. They don't all feel the same. Like when I got towards the end of the game, I didn't feel like I was fighting like the same enemy over and over again. I felt like it felt different. It felt different. So kudos. I said I wasn't gonna explain. Fuck. Favorite soundtrack: Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Final Fantasy 9, and Final Fantasy 15, and Final Fantasy 12. Favorite song is the FF7 theme, the like the slums theme, that one. Aerith's theme in Final Fantasy VII Remake. The Final Fantasy 16 icon fight music. And Final Fantasy 9 Garnet song. The la 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 la. And the Final Fantasy prologue music. Or not necessarily. Yeah, I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Not the prelude, but the prologue music. Best weapon: the Punisher in RE4. The Twin Blades in Final Fantasy VII. I forgot what this weapon's called, but this is one of Squall's weapons in 8. And then the grenade launcher in Claire's story in RE2. Magical power. So this is both like in gameplay and in like just a general story sense, right? So number 1 is Noctis's Armiger powers. Number 2 is Clive's Mythos powers. Next is Ultimecia / Idea's time powers. And then Liu Kang's a Titan of Time powers. As well as, because that's not all he has, the God of Fire powers. Best worlds. So these are like the general big world, right? I have a different category for like specific places. So this is like the entire thing. This is Faerun in Baldur's Gate 3. I think it's incredible that like even I'm still just on Act 1 for Baldur's Gate, but if Baldur's Gate can like make its way here already, incredible. Ivalice in Final Fantasy 12. Eos in Final Fantasy 15, and the world of Bramble. Oh, and Stray. And Stray, and the world of Stray. Now, this is the one with the best places. Outworld in Mortal Kombat 1. The 7th District slums in Final Fantasy 7. This is the Castle Pandemonium in Final Fantasy 2. And this is Hackett's Quarry in The Quarry. Best NPC, so non-playable characters. Chadley. Madame Bo from Mortal Kombat 1. Chadley from 7 Remake. Cindy from 15. Lemmis from Bramble. So those are NPC nominations. Best villain. So this is not just like boss fights. This is like villain in the story. Hugo Kupka from 16. Ramon Salazar in RE4. This is Mr. X / Tyrant in RE2. Sephiroth in Crisis Core and 7 Remake. And but this one specifically for Crisis Core. And then Kuja in Final Fantasy 9. Best playable side character. So we have Minwu from Final Fantasy 2. My Count Chocula. Idea from Final Fantasy 8. Beatrix from Final Fantasy 9. Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Best party member. We have Aerith from 7 Remake. Vivi from 9. This is Dylan from The Quarry. This is B12 from Stray. And Karlak for Baldur's Gate. Oh, and Ignis and Prompto from 15. Yes. Oh, and Luis from RE4. And Joshua Rossfield from 16. Best ship. This one's gonna be a lot as well. Okay, this one's gonna be a lot. Just one slide, but still gonna be a lot. Okay, so bear with me here. Bear with me here. We're coming to the end. Joshua x Dion, Final Fantasy 16. Dion x Terrence, Final Fantasy 16. Clive x Jill, Final Fantasy 16. Johnny Cage Kenshi, Mortal Kombat 1. Noctis x Prompto, Final Fantasy 15. Noctis x Luna Freya, Final Fantasy 15. Aerith x Tifa, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Cloud x Zack from Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core. Balthier x Bosch, Final Fantasy 12. And yeah, those are our best ships. So let's see who wins that one. And the best protagonist, so second to last, we have Cloud Strife, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Clive Rossfield, Final Fantasy 16. Leon S. Kennedy, RE4 Remake and RE2 Remake. Squall Leonhardt from Final Fantasy 8. Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Zack from Crisis Core. So those are our best protagonists. All right, best game. Okay, so here we go, the big kahuna. Okay, this is the best game that I played this year. I did not include some of the ones that are still ongoing because I haven't finished it yet. So here we go. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Final Fantasy 16. Resident Evil 4. Final Fantasy 15. And Final Fantasy 8. Those are our best game categories. All right, so those are our nominations. So we will award these categories next Friday, right? Which will be our last stream for 2023. Then I'm gonna take a couple of weeks to be with my family, spend Christmas and New Year's there. And so that'll be next Friday. And those are not the only categories as well. I will be telling y'all about what happened with my Twitch Wrapped. So that'll include who are some of my top chatters for 2023. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about best DLCs, all that stuff. A lot of really fun stuff. I'm gonna tell you guys about the games that I'm really highly anticipating for next year and what we can look forward to in 2024. Oh, so many fun things to get into for next week. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I love you. I love you, love you, love you.